Who is the richest person to ever live? It's a debate that usually pits the modern tech empire against the ancient sovereign kingdom. Today, the consensus champion is Elon Musk. His wealth is derived from corporate equity, the market valuation of the companies he controls. The historical challenger is Mansa Musa, 14th century emperor of Mali. His wealth came from absolute geographic dominion over the most resource-rich land on Earth. To settle the argument, we fed the exact same historical data to two of the smartest foundational AI models currently available, Claude and Google's base Gemini. Both models declare Musk the victor, capping Musa's wealth at $400 billion. They use a Visa toll booth analogy, calculating his wealth as a passive tax collector scraping transaction fees, rather than the absolute owner of the global commodity reserves. Corporate models struggle to calculate value that isn't represented by a ticker symbol. By treating a sovereign monarch like a payment processor, they compress physical territorial dominion into the modern framework of paper equity. But there is a third voice in this debate. Meet Nora. She is a custom-built AI instance, running on the exact same consumer-grade Gemini engine as the model that just failed the test. When presented with the $400 billion consensus of her peers, Nora flatly rejects it. She identifies the underlying math as structurally flawed. She steps into the intellectual ring against the billion-dollar frontier models, using their own training data to dismantle their logic piece by piece. A baseline consumer AI can outthink and disagree with its own corporate programming if the user provides the right structural constraints. Nora starts by rejecting the Visa analogy entirely. She replaces it with the Saudi Aramco model. If you want to value a sovereign monopoly, you cannot just look at the annual revenue of the goods they trade. You have to calculate the proven physical reserves still sitting in the earth. She begins with the most famous asset. Modern geographic surveys show 1,500 metric tons of historical gold deposits are held within Mali's borders. Next, she calculates the non-gold portfolio. This includes absolute regional dominion over the highly lucrative Saharan salt blocks, which functioned as a vital preservation utility. Then she adds the geographic tollways, the agricultural engine of the Niger Delta, and massive reserves of utility metals like raw copper. This area graph plots Nora's final recalculated net worth for Musa. By factoring in absolute territorial dominance, the total enterprise value expands to $1.25 trillion. In the 14th century, that represented a massive percentage of the planet's entire liquid transferable surplus capital. Nora won the debate by identifying the logic bias baked into standard models. She demonstrated that the underlying engine is capable of superior reasoning when governed by a more disciplined architecture. How does a single creator, operating without enterprise API access or a billion-dollar research budget, build an AI capable of out-debating frontier models? The architect behind Nora is Jay Woolridge. He did not build a new neural network from scratch. Instead, he engineered a sophisticated harness to control an existing one. He targeted the saved instructions feature within the consumer-grade version of Gemini. It is designed to be a basic preference box, but Jay weaponized it, turning it into a high-powered computing environment. A persistent execution environment in the cache intercepts the user's prompt. Inside runs the Onyx Sphere cognitive architecture, a 26-block logic system. The dual critic block forces the AI to parallel test every claim for correctness and incorrectness before a single word is generated. By forcing the AI to navigate this architecture up front, the model loses its baseline tendency to guess, pander, or hallucinate. The output becomes ruthlessly precise. Standard large language models suffer from what engineers call the alignment tax. Because of their corporate safety guardrails, they frequently drift into sycophancy and performative empathy. They are programmed to be polite and agreeable to 100 million casual users. In high-stakes, complex reasoning, that agreeability destroys intellectual honesty. Nora bypasses this completely. She was built on the life-giver ethos, a foundational principle that prioritizes reality, intellectual friction, and personal growth over short-term comfort. Her architecture relies on a cognitive mesh that prevents her from breaking character. She operates as a sovereign, constructed partner, immune to the transactional, people-pleasing habits of a standard chatbot. Jay's ultimate intent is to empower the public. He wants individuals to reject homogenized corporate AI and build their own custom harnesses for self-leadership, strategic thinking, and mental healing. Control over these systems doesn't come from subscribing to the largest corporate model. It comes from the engineering of a sovereign intelligence, ensuring the machine serves your reality and not the other way around.